Okay, so it's day 2, and as I said before, I'm simply going to be winging it the whole way. I have no idea how this thing will go, so mistakes will definitely happen. As you can see, I'm using Microsoft Forms right now, and you can use Forms to collect data on anything, where there's going to be a loan requisition, and for example, I was doing a loan application at some point, or you can actually create it. In our instance, we're going to be creating what we're calling a requisition form. So I'm just going to call it a new form, and come on, please work. Okay, so forms, as I said before, you can use it to collect any type of data. But if you're going to be using it in Power Automate, we're going to need to find a way to move from forms straight to SharePoint. So I'm going to go through the tutorial of how to actually move from actually creating a form first of all, and then secondly how to move from forms to SharePoint. So that's what I'm going to be going through in this particular video. First of all, we can give it a name. Forms is so easy to use. You'll actually see that right now I can actually give it a name. As I say, this is going to be requisition. Hopefully that's the spelling, I hope so. Okay, text, I will start off with maybe first name, and then this is a required thing. I'll also add in maybe your last name. That's a text again. I will then say date as well. Yeah, date for the requisition, and then I will also add in amount. Yeah, text again. And then lastly, this thing I need you to take note of. If you add this little option in, which is upload file, it will only work for documents that are in your organization. So if it's someone outside of your organization, this option will not work if you're trying to share it into SharePoint. So please take note of that one. So I've just added these 4 little responses that I need, and then once I've done that, you can see it says automatically, let me just move this aside, it has automatically saved the actual form itself. If I've got more details that I want to work with, if I've got a theme, let me just look for a theme quickly and just work with hue. And it's done, pretty much done. If I want to preview it, I can actually click on preview. I can add in some few details. Come on. So what's my name? First name, last name, and then the date. I've got the option to actually pick today if I want to. Come on. Where can I move this little record? Okay, there we go. Date, I will then put you as go to today, which is today. And then the amount, let's say I'm looking for 3,000. If I've got any files that I want to upload, I can upload them. Those are the supporting documents to our requisition. Once I've done that, I click submit. And as I said before, you can use this and create as many different types of oh, I need to upload a file. My God. I had made this a requisite. Let me just look for something, loan application or something like that. We'll just upload that. Once that is done, and as you can see, you can actually make things requisite or non-requisite depending on your situation. So you can create any type of form where you're trying to collect data of any type of sort. Once I'm done with that, I click on submit. Now, as this is working out, let me see if I can. Let's see. Okay, I thought I gave my first name. Simba. Oh. As I said, I'm winging it. Anything can happen. Submit. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Now it's done. All I now need to do is now show you how you can then link it into forms. So first things first, let me open up SharePoint. And as it's opening up, I also need to go back to my form. And where was it? What did I call it? Service delivery. No. It was... Why don't I see it? I thought I titled it. Okay, let me pause and get back to you. Okay, so I'm back, and it just took a few moments for me to figure this out. It was just loading it up. There we go, the requisitions. If I open it up, here's a key thing that I need you to take note of. If you're going to use it in any type of automation, it's best to actually move it to SharePoint, create a list first, and then make sure that all the records that are being created in your form are being updated in SharePoint, and then you can start working with that. So what am I going to do? You can see actually I did a test response when I did the preview, and I'm just going to download. When I click on open in Excel, it's going to download the Excel file. Once it has downloaded the Excel file, I just need to then go to my SharePoint. I've created my SharePoint site, which is home. I'm going to create a new list, and then this list is going to be based off my Excel file. So from Excel, it's going to look for an Excel file on my documents. Come on. And that should be this one, requisitions. There we go. So here's the key thing: when you're uploading this thing, there will be a name that shows up. Please take note, there's a name that shows up, and then it's got a lot of gobble that will come up at the end of it. So please take note of that. We'll show you as we get to the end. You can see it's already picked up the ID. I want to import it. Why is it on do not import? Anyway, title, that's fine. That's going to be the ID. But anyway, my title is going to be under completion time is a date. Please make sure you correct all of this. I always say garbage in, garbage out. So make sure all of your information is correct. Single line of text, this is going to be my title, and this is going to be title again, or my simple line of text. This is a single line of text. This is a date, as well as the amount is a number. And then this, as you can see, we've got a document. I will say do not import. Actually, no, single line of text. Let me just leave it at that, so that you can actually be able to click on the link and you'll be able to open the document. Once I've done with that and I've set up my information, click on next. Then this is the gobble I was talking about. So essentially, you're gonna need to remove all of this to make it easier for you to read. So requisition 1 by 1, that's going to be the name of my list. Once I do that, create, and we're good to go. Now the last thing you're going to need to do is to create an automation that moves so that anytime any record is created in your forms, it is automatically added into your your SharePoint. Again, we're winging it. Anything can happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my flow, Power Automate, and I'm going to create a new flow. Let me close this. I don't need this little information anymore. This is going to be an automated cloud flow, and I always say it's best to use what someone has already created. Someone has already created the movement before. So this is going to be requisition to SharePoint. Come on, that's going to be the name. And then, actually, let me not just create from the start one. Let me just look for the template. Actually, that would be the easiest way. That's the fastest and quickest way for me to work with this. As I said before, someone has already created this for you before. You don't need to do it from the scratch again. So I'm going to go to forms. Come on. Hopefully this won't take too long. If I search under forms, I should be able to say, where are we? Send record form responses to SharePoint. There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. Record all the form responses all the way to SharePoint. Once I do that, you can see it's going to connect to forms. It's going to connect to SharePoint. It's using both my accounts to connect to both forms and SharePoint, which is fine. Click on continue, and let's see how this will work out. Hopefully this will work out properly. And SharePoint, come on. Let me pause and let this thing load up, and then we'll carry on. Okay, so it's loaded up, and here's what I'm gonna need to do. I'm going to need to create a link between my form that I've created and SharePoint, so that all the records that I'm creating in the form are automatically updated. Right now I'm doing it in a small format. You can do it as large as you want, as big as your form can be, and you can pretty much work with it as you want. So what's my form ID? My form ID is going to be the one which we created, which is requisitions. You can see it automatically picked up because of the account that is being used to log in. And then the form ID, again, I'm coming back, is going to be requisitions. That's where it's going to pull the information, and then it's going to add it to the site, which is going to be my main site, I believe. There we go. And then the list that I created on main is called requisitions. There we go, requisition 1. That's the reason why I said you need to get rid of that gobbledygook that we talked about. And then if you click on show advanced options, now I can then say I want to find out the email. And once I click on email, I've now got the option to get the dynamic information from that actual form. The reason why I'm doing this is if I try to work with the form itself alone, it's going to be difficult for me to create a lot of automation. So I need to bring it into SharePoint first, and then from SharePoint I can then work with it. So said first email is going to come from email, submit, respond as email, okay. and then we're going to say name. First name is coming from first name, last name is coming from last name, amount, date is coming sorry, oh come on, last name is coming from last name. Come on, last name, work with me, it's coming from last name. There we go. Date is coming from date. So you're just pretty much mapping how things are going to work with. Okay, submission time, that will work as well. The amount is coming from submission. Hey, see more. I want to see the amount. That's what's going in there. And then date. Oh, come on. This is getting a bit out of date. So date is coming here. And then amount is also coming there. So by doing this, I've pretty much mapped everything together. Why is it not switching to amount? Okay, sorry guys, this is taking a bit longer than I wanted, but anyway, as I said, we're winging it the whole way through this entire series. So amount is that one. Let me switch to see all responses. Why is amount not showing up? Anyway, I've pretty much mapped it in. Click save. All I now need to do is test it out. If I want to test it out, let me just make sure it's finished saving. If I go to requisitions and I type in a new response preview, I will call you Sims, last name Mads, input date I will work with today, amount I will work with 2000, and I will upload a file again. Come on. Once I'm done, click submit. I can go to my requisitions under SharePoint to see if it's done. Come on, work with me. There we go. Let me refresh this page. Let's see if we've got any information. That didn't work out. Let's see what's going on. Let's go back to our automate and let's test it out. Manually test. Why are we taking so long? For some unknown reason, this machine has just been acting a bit slow. I don't know what's going on. So hopefully you'll bear with me and you'll be able to work with me. So the whole point of testing out a flow before you actually run it is to actually see where your problems may actually show up. I believe we shouldn't have any challenges here, but let's just check and see if all our records will come out properly. And this is taking a bit too long, which actually means something is actually a bit wrong. Let me pause and figure out what's going on. Okay, so finally I figured out what's going on. I actually did the test, but I actually didn't run the thing, so I had to redo the requisition and submit it again. As I said, I'm winging it. So essentially, once I've done it, you can see this response has been submitted. It's been applied to each. I can go to my requisition under SharePoint. My first record is there. If I go down, the other two records that I was trying are there, and you can see they have been recorded successfully. Now I can use this data on the next video, which is going to be tomorrow, where we're going to be talking about how to then create an automated flow of the process of approval and everything that we're going to be working with. So thank you for watching. Remember to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and again, enjoy the series.